Welcome, welcome, welcome to Garnetqueentarot. How are the wonderful Cancers doing today? How are you guys doing today? What's going on? What's happening? What's on your mind? Talk to us. Now, Cancers, we got to do our breathing. So, inhale, exhale twice, and then shake it off, okay? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, shake it off. Yes, yes, yes. Spirit, speak to us on behalf of the wonderful Cancer family. Help them to gain clarity and understanding. Let's see what's going on with you. Been quiet on the front lately, right? Let's see what's happening. How's everybody been? We are in the fall season now. Isn't that something? Summer just came and went. Hope everybody's safe from those storms. And family all over the place. Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, out west. It's just so much going on. Chaotic realms. Transformational change. I know today's number was like 555, and that was just change. Everything is changing. Everything is changing right now. Here we go. Let's see what's going on. Woo, look at those beautiful wings. Move your body. Get things moving. Change is coming. Don't stay stuck, okay? Don't stay stuck. The miracle of forgiveness. That's something you have to do. Cancers, is really hard for you sometimes with forgiveness. You say, oh, it's not a big deal. Okay. But you know deep down it is. You don't like to revisit certain things or certain people, especially if they hurt your feelings. And sometimes people say or do things and you get offended quite easily. And they didn't even mean anything by it, but you're still offended. You could be real sensitive, right? Move your body. So that means get up and start doing things. Somebody upset you, could have been in a relationship, your feelings were hurt, you cut somebody off, or even if you don't always cut people off, that window, that doorway is left open. So it's not that you cut them off in the sense of blocking them, but you're not going to waste your time running to reach out to them or do any of that type of stuff because they came at you the wrong way. That's understandable because you get offended at a lot of things, even if it's not that serious. So, and you're not going to step to the person. They'll have to step to you because when you get in your feelings, if they don't reach out to you, they don't get to hear from you, period. Point blank. Oh my gosh. So, that's extremely important. You forgive for yourself. You don't forgive for other people. They did something wrong, forgive them for they knew not what they did. But for you, it's going to lift that burden up a little bit because at least they recognize the fact that they did something that was offensive to you. You didn't like it. And that's why you got to dig deep down for your inner power right now because that's where your strength actually lies. And people have to recognize the fact when you're offended, you don't even tell people you're offended. Half the time, people don't even know they pissed you off. And forgive them for you. If you don't want to hang with them, mess with them no more, that's fine. But forgive them because then it's clear off your conscience and you don't have to worry about it. And then you'll come back and you'll say, well, I forgot all about it. It's not even a big deal or things. And they're like, what are you talking about? They didn't even know that you were offended. I'm telling you. Because you can turn into your own world when you're ready. And other than your close-knit family that's with you, you don't really going to bother with people too much. Because if they're going to do something like that and don't come at you the right way or an apology is not there, there's an issue for you. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what is happening. A lot of big changes have happened. I'm trying to figure things out. Okay? So they're wanting you to respond. And what you're saying is a lot of change because, like I told you, a lot of transformational change is taking place. We're walking into that realm. So you tend to be more into yourself when you're upset about certain things, and you're not going to mess with people at this time because of how you're feeling. If you like to build things or you like to work, whatever it is, you're diving into that because you don't want no excuse to have to relate or talk to anybody that has upset you, pissed you off. You're like, you know what, it's not even worth it to me. You're not going to disrupt my peace. I'm in my own mode and mood right now. Cancers, how y'all get. How y'all get. And then you act surprised when somebody calls. Oh, you even respond to people's messages. You're not going to do certain things because you're pissed off. So if they want to hear from you, they're going to have to reach out to you. It's rare for a Cancer to do an about face and turn back and go to somebody that pissed them off. They normally have to, they'll sit there waiting for the ice to melt. You got to break the ice if you want to talk to them before. If people want to talk to you, they're going to have to break the ice because you will get in your feelings and you wouldn't even miss them. And even if you do, or your heart hurts for them, you're still going to sit tight. You're not going to really bother. It's like you have to be able to communicate on both sides. And if somebody upsets you, let them know. Because once you start talking, you can't stop anyway. Especially if somebody pissed you off. Let them say one word. And you say, well, I felt, and you'll go off. And it was like all of that was bottled up inside where you could have just spoken and say, you know what, I really didn't appreciate what you did or how you did it. I took offense to it. I mean, I'm all right now, but, I thought you was going to contact me to apologize and do things. They're like, dang, I didn't even know Cancer was upset. I'm sorry. That's how you do things, and it'll be in you. It'll be like shaking up a soda and then opening it right away. You will explode on people, and you will explode, period, because that's something that you hold on to. It'll make you sick if you don't release tension a lot of times. So make sure you avoid that. I wasn't sure how my life would have changed if we continued the connection. It would be good, but one of the things you have to work on is your communication skills, because how do you expect people to get to know you if they do things you don't like and you don't tell them? Help me to understand that. Like they say, make it make sense. You're offended by somebody doing something. They don't know to change that behavior because that's probably something they've always done, but you don't like it. It's not for you. So rather than let them know, you just cut them off in the sense where you're not calling or reaching out. So if they want you in their life, they're going to have to reach out to you to find out why you're upset with them. And you probably say, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. While you're boiling inside. And then they keep prying. And then you'll explode because you're like, well, to be honest with you, that's how you're moving. That's how you're moving. That's why they say you got to get in tune with your inner power. You have the power to disturb things. And one of your weaknesses, one of your lackings is communication. You have to be able to open your mouth and speak and say, you know what? I didn't like it. Let them know. It's better to know than not know. It's better you know they know because you have to tell them, right? Come on now. I don't know what to do, so I do nothing. You know what to do. Open your mouth and speak. But when you get into yourself, you block that. You can't do that. Especially if it's a relationship that you want to grow. Talk to people. Get in your mood of good, positive influence. Step back and breathe, and then reach out. This is a big step for you. Reach out and let people know what's up. Okay? People can't correct their behavior if you don't give them the opportunity to know what they did wrong, at least in your eyes. And that relationship is on rocky ground because that person doesn't understand you. They don't know you well enough to know that when you're upset, you shut down completely. Give them that chance to, fix things and let them know so that if it's a behavior that they continue moving forward, then, and you want to cut them out your life, that's fine. You forgive them and you move on completely. But the sense is this person is not even aware. The thought of you with anyone else drives me crazy. I try not to think about that. These are your feelings. But the person that you're feeling it for has no clue. No clue. They thought you all were building and they were getting close to you. And then for some reason, you just went ghost. Because you got into your feelings, into your emotions. And they thought you just don't want nothing to do with them no more because you're not really responding. They've texted you. Have you responded? You didn't block them, but you haven't responded. And now they could take offense because it's like I'm reaching out and Cancer's acting funny with me. You don't want to be bothered with me. I don't want to be bothered with you. And miscommunication happens. Why? Because Cancers don't want to express their true feelings. You know what they did that pissed you off. They just don't know. How do you get ahead with anything if you don't share the truth? I'm asking. I don't know. I just see like a blockage in the sense, not blocked where you can't communicate, blocked where you won't. Okay? So we got to work on that a little bit. You got to work on it. You got to work on it. Come on now. You got to work on it. What is going on? You got to work on it. Communication is key. That's something that all year, for the past few years, oh heck, that's just who you are. You lack communication. You got to work on that. Because everybody's not the same. And there might be somebody you really like in this situation. You're upset with them. You miss them. But you won't say nothing to them. Come on. Break the ice. Break the ice. Break the ice. Break the ice. Let's see what's going on. I feel that energy and the passion. You got the Knight of Wands, and it's like you're really feeling the passion for this person. You like this person a lot. And you're mad at them and they don't even know, and they don't even know why, even if they did know. You know what I mean? It's like this is something that comes up all the time in almost every relationship because of the fact you'll stop talking and shut down and not express. When you do express, you express. Oh man, if they didn't know, now they know. When you express yourself. But if it's somebody going through the motions with you and working on getting to know you, that message of you not speaking and with a nonchalant, not caring attitude, they just think you just flipped the script on them and you're not feeling the same way. You could ruin a relation. Well, you have. But right now you're trying to learn more about yourself and things that you do. So you have to open up and share how you're really feeling about stuff. Wow. So it's like you're working on clearing your mind because listen, you've got the Queen of Swords. You have to be able to get the truth out as to what the problem is, because you'll end up losing this relationship. Right now, things are not balanced out. There's an imbalance because this person that cares about you is not understanding what has happened. Is the relationship something that's going to go forward, or is it done? And if they're texting you, you're not responding to them, and they're reaching out, how can they rectify the situation if they don't know what it is? Y'all didn't have an argument of any kind. It was because something was said that fell on your ears that you didn't like the way it was said. So you took offense to it. This wasn't no knockout, drag out fight, because it's still it's tension and anxiety because nobody knows what the next step is moving forward. But as far as having that fight or any type of altercation, it didn't transpire. It never happened. It was just your ego and your emotions that didn't like something that was presented to you in the way and manner it was. So now that person is like, I don't know what I did. I thought the Cancer and I was moving forward. Male, female, doesn't matter. And you're determined to continue moving forward, but with other things, without that communication. That communication is lacking right now. It's lacking. There is no justice, there is no peace until this issue is resolved. So you're the one prolonging things right now, but you want a different response from them. You say, well, they need to come to me. They've been coming to you. What do you want them to do? I mean, if you're not responding, how can they do anything different? I'm trying to understand this. And then, you have, I should say, you'd maybe working on a project, building, artistry, something that you're really good at and you're passionate about. You're working on a project. It could be at work, it could be at home, and doing work for other people, because you're very creative, as we all know. But what has happened is you start diving into your work, and people are recognizing you for all that you've done. People are following you. You might be on a social media site showing your work, and you're gaining followers and likes. People love what you do, and to see it happening right before their eyes is like, wow, it's great. So you're being celebrated, but there's a void in your heart because the person you want to celebrate with, they're looking at your stuff. You have people are looking. So there's everybody lurking at what you're doing. And that person sees your activity, they see what you're working on because you're posting it. But they don't want to respond because they don't want you to think that they're tracking you or following you to that extent that they're lurking behind the bushes, which they are. But they don't want you to think that because they don't want you to think that they're into you to that extent, which they are. So y'all are playing like a game of cat and mouse, you go, and nobody's going anywhere. But you are diving into your skills, your talents, your creativity. But the relationship part, nobody's stepping forth right now. So nobody knows if it's going to continue or if it's dead on arrival to come and talk. Because the fact is, they don't know how to approach this because you just stopped communicating. You're concerned too because you don't know if you seal the deal by not speaking, but you don't really have intentions of speaking. But there's questions for the person that you do have, but you don't want them to think that you like them more than you do, even though you do. The two of you are on the same path of going nowhere because neither one of y'all want to step to the other. But that's untrue. Let me stop. That's untrue because they have come to you and you haven't responded. So they did step to you technically. But right now they're just watching and lurking and behind the shadows because they want to see what you're doing. Don't you miss them? If you did, why didn't you reach out? And they need their own closure, I guess, because the person is ready to step away. You don't want them to step away, but you're not telling them to stay. Oh, it's exhausting. Cancers, it's exhausting. All you had to do was open up and share the truth. It's exhausting. Transition, you're moving. Okay, transition here. Please. That's the Six of Swords. The transition. There's a lot of energy here of movement. But, I mean, as far as business and your creativity and your skills, positive movement. People are following you. You're being celebrated. You're being acknowledged for your work. But as far as the relationship status goes, you know how you felt when this person was part of your life. More so. You moved more. You've gotten into a sulking spirit because of the fact that your heart hurts a little bit not communicating with that person, but you don't know if it's worth it to put yourself out there, to put your heart out there. So you're going to hold your heart captive. That makes sense. You're protecting yourself, but they're letting you know. Remember this one? First they told you the miracle of forgiveness. So you have to forgive what somebody did. Your inner power. You're looking to dive in to express yourself more. Let this be your guinea pig. Let this situation elevate you in the communication arena. Whereas you open up and you speak the truth and you take whatever comes, but at least you got it out, because you'll always be wondering, what if I'd have did this? What if I'd have done that? What if you did? Numb yourself and go and speak to this person and see if you can salvage the relationship. But you are on a path of growth, because one thing has nothing to do with the other. You're going to work, you're going to be creative, you're going to do whatever skills that you have been bestowed with. But as far as the heart goes, that's where you hold back and you weaken, because you don't want to be embarrassed or hurt. And you don't want to be vulnerable with someone to the extent that they are not feeling you the way you're feeling them. So you'd rather they tell you first that they feel for you, so therefore you could respond. All I'm saying to you is don't be childish in this situation. You have many, many, many awards, rewards, everything coming to you for your skills. Let some come to you for your heart. You are protected. You are good. This person is feeling you. You're feeling them. Just go ahead. Don't be scared. I joke with it, but I can feel the tension with you, and I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. You know, you have to step up and just say, you know what? I'd rather speak and ease the burden of the pain that I feel not communicating with you. But I don't feel that I should step to you knowing that you offended me. But I'm just trying to explain to you, even though you're offended, that person has to retract their steps to figure it out like a detective, to find out what they said or what they did that offended you. What was the minute, when was the minute that your facial expression changed? Because you could be animated as well. You give the eye look, the face will twinge a little. People could pick up on the vibe is not positive anymore. So now that person has to go back and figure out why you're upset. Why do they have to do so much research? Why can't you just have a conversation and talk about it? I'm just saying. I'm in your business. You're sharing your message with me. I can give a little opinion here and there, couldn't I? Anyway, all I'm saying to you is to think things through till we meet up again. Figure out what steps you need to take in order to move things forward. But do know the person does care about you. Don't let that change by holding back your feelings, okay? Garnetqueentarot, where we're inspired to rise and be our best selves. Thank you so much for sharing your message with us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again. Talk soon. Take care.